Hello, we appreciate you joining us today to talk about a really exciting topic, and that's workers' compensation in the state of Ohio. If you're a business or aspiring business, you know that all businesses must carry workers' compensation coverage. And the Chamber has been a longtime partner with CareWorks Comp on offering estimates or quotes on service for your workers' compensation, and they've been a great partner with us. Many of our members utilize their service and get quotes with our third-party administrator, CareWorks Comp. And today we have Meredith from CareWorks Comp, who's going to just talk to us a little bit about what they offer you as a business or an aspiring business, and kind of go nuts and bolts over workers' compensation in the state of Ohio. So Meredith, welcome to the show today.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So maybe you can give a little background about what is CareWorks Comp, and what role do you play in the organization?
Yes. So like you mentioned, CareWorks Comp is a third-party administrator, or a TPA. That's how we refer to ourselves a lot. And so as a TPA, we help employers save on their workers' compensation premiums that they pay to the state. We help with claims administration. We help with unemployment. That's been really big right now, especially during COVID. We've been answering a lot of questions for unemployment. So that's a huge benefit. And you do get the consultative services built into the workers' comp program. And then in addition to that, we also have safety. And then as far as my role, I am a program manager at CareWorks Comp. And really what my role is to bring awareness to the Wooster Chamber's workers' comp program, and then also help answer any questions that members might have as it relates to workers' compensation. So I'm really kind of the go-to for any kind of questions that someone might have when it comes to workers' comp insurance, and maybe any kind of process or policy. I can usually help with those questions.
That's perfect. We've got a couple of questions that maybe can help people understand your role and really workers' compensation throughout the state of Ohio. So, Meredith, when you look at businesses, both small and big, so who needs workers' compensation?
That's a great question, Justin. So anyone that employs one person has to have workers' compensation insurance. So it's really important, because if you don't, and then you have a workers' comp claim, that can be in what we call your experience for quite some time. And you would be liable for that claim dollar for dollar for the life of the claim. It can be very, very expensive. So if you're a new business, or if you're a business and you've been in business for quite some time, you just want to make sure that you have workers' compensation, because we've seen older businesses not have workers' comp insurance and then have a claim, and it's very costly.
So if everybody needs it, so then you are a third-party administrator. And full disclosure, there are a number of third-party administrators throughout the state of Ohio, correct, Meredith?
Yeah.
But if I would want to get a quote from CareWorks Comp and you specifically, how do I go about doing that if I'm either in a company that's already existing and have coverage with somebody, or I'm a company looking to start up? How do I get a quote from you and start that process?
So in order to get a quote, you can reach out to me directly at 614-745-4935, or you can use my email address that should be appearing here on the screen. And you can just include your contact information and your BWC policy. There's absolutely no cost and no obligation for the quote. So it really benefits you as the employer to take a look at the Wooster Chamber's workers' comp program to see how much they can help you save.
Well, and that's interesting, Meredith, because you talked about, so we know everybody needs it, and there's many companies that have it and maybe they don't know there's options, right? So you offer businesses the ability to get a no obligation quote, right? If they provide the information you're talking about. And in there, you mentioned about the chamber. So what's the relationship between a CareWorks Comp and the Chamber of Commerce? Maybe you can touch on that a little bit.
So In order for employers to receive discounts or savings on their premium, the only really real way to do that is actually to be a part of a group rating or group retrospective program. And so CareWorks Comp houses those programs, but the Bureau of Workers' Comp says that an employer has to be a part of a sponsoring organization. And Wooster Chamber is that sponsoring organization. And the benefit of being in the program, not only are you getting the savings, not only are you getting the services I discussed earlier, like unemployment and safety, claims administration, not only are you getting those, but CareWorks Comp, once for their members that are in the program, reinvest time and resources right back into the community, right back into the Wooster Chamber to help local businesses. So we really hope that you do consider their program. We'd love to have you in it.
So that being, so if I'm not in a current group program, it really makes sense for me to be a part of one so that I can drive savings, right? I mean, and is that the theory of it's, the power of purchasing, the bigger the better as far as the group? Is that what it is, Meredith?
Yes, exactly. So what we do is they're group rating programs. So we're grouping like employers together that are in a similar industry. And so because we're grouping them together, we can achieve bigger discounts than an employer could receive on their own, or rebates. It just depends on which program you're eligible for, group rating or group retrospective.
Okay, so a couple of quick questions then too. So if we have people that are interested right now, like, hey, I'd be interested in receiving a quote. So there's always, how much time does it take me, right? When would I hear back? And am I going to be hassled, right? I mean, those are the three things as a chamber we would hear. So maybe you can answer that. So how long would it take, or what's the process? When do I hear back? And then is there further follow-up if I don't have interest?
Yes, so getting a quote is very simple. Like I mentioned before, you just can contact me. You can reach out with your contact information and your BWC policy number. I'll go ahead and submit that. It typically takes us some time to turn that around, so 4 to 6 weeks. And that's because when an evaluation comes through, we have to hold on to that for typically 2 weeks. And then once we have that, we submit it to the Bureau. And then they have to provide us information on the policy, and so we can see what program or discounts you're eligible for, at which point we would turn around and receive or send out a quote for you. So it just takes a little bit of time to do that. So getting a quote is pretty easy. I'd say 4 to 6 weeks. And then the follow-up is, if you're reaching out to me directly, I'll follow up with you. And typically, if I'm following up with you, folks from the office won't be calling. But we will try a couple of times to get a hold of you. And if you pick up the phone and you tell us that you're not interested, then we'll stop calling. So that's the best way. That's the key. If you don't want us to call anymore, ask us to please stop.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's always a question we get. So. So talk to us if we want to learn more information about CareWorks. So I'm interested. Obviously, you gave your email, you gave your phone number, the website, or where could I easily find more information just about the nuts and bolts of the program?
Yeah, great question. I would actually refer you to the Wooster Chamber's Workers' Comp page. They have links there to all of our website and things like that. But I think the information that an employer or a member that's a part of the Wooster Chamber is going to be looking for is right on the Wooster Chamber site. So Katie's done an awesome job updating that and making sure everything is relevant to members.
That's a good response, Meredith, because that was a test. Because yes, the Wooster Chamber, we've got good information on there, and internally, for those who are members of ours or looking at being members on our team page, Katie Foster is the point of contact for the program. Yeah, so if you have questions, you can reach out to her as well, and she can link you up with Meredith as well.
I'm just glad I passed.
Yeah, you did. You did well. What other pieces, Meredith, do you think that we are missing that is important for people to think about?
Great, yes. There's one thing that I'm thinking of, and the due date did just pass, but if members are not familiar with the Bureau's true-up, That's a really important time for employers to true up their payroll. And this is a workers' compensation requirement. And what the Bureau is asking is for employers to true up their payroll from the previous policy year. So the previous policy year that just happened was 7/1/19 to 6/30/2020. And that is the payroll that the Bureau is looking for employers to true up. The true up is completed once you reported your payroll and once any premiums, if there's some premiums that are due the Bureau that need to be paid, once those are paid. So those two things have to be done. You have to complete it and you have to make a payment if one is due. Now that deadline was just this past Saturday, August 15th. And if you did not complete your true up by August 15th, I would recommend just seeing if the governor's one-time forgiveness application is available to you. So if you've used one in the past, I would encourage you to check again just to see. And if you want to know if that you're eligible, if you're with CareWorks Comp, you can reach out to me directly. Or if you're not with CareWorks Comp, you'll want to reach out to your TPA or third-party administrator, and they could certainly help you with that.
Awesome. That's good information and good advice. Well, one of our focus, as you know, Meredith, is that we try to make sure that our chamber members are utilizing savings. They have the best programs available to them and the best partners. And we truly can say that CareWorks Comp has been a long-standing good partner with us and will continue to be. So if you are a member that's watched this and have interest, then we suggest you reach out to Meredith. Again, her information was in the middle of the video presentation, and we'll put it up here at the end. So Meredith, do you have anything else for our group?
I don't think so, but I hope you join. The Wooster Chamber is an awesome organization. We're happy to be a part of it. So thank you so much for having me, Justin.
Yes, Meredith, thank you for your time today, folks. And again, if you have any questions, the contact information will be right following this video. Thank you and have a good day.